Alright, so this might be the most controversial topic ever in the reptile community, and definitely with the snakes. So we're just going to hit on the snakes because that's what I own. I don't know if this is how it is with other animals. I'm sure it is. But let's dive into this, and I know that this is going to probably upset some people and give me a bad backlash on the internet. Not that I don't have a bad name, anyways. And if I'm wrong in this topic, you guys will let me know, like always. So this is just my opinion, so it literally means nothing. But if you guys want to listen to what I have to say, then welcome aboard. So let's talk about cages. The hottest topic there is, other than feeding your snake. You know, I've had conversations with people, good conversations with people. I've had conversations with people that say I am the worst snake owner in the world and I'm a disgrace to reptile ownership because of how I keep my animals. So I I don't know what to say to that, but let's talk about what's going on. So I see a lot of stuff on Facebook, and you know, everybody's opinion means something special to everybody, and it's true. I'm not gonna say that's not a bad thing because I come on here and I talk to you guys about my opinions all the time, and I know you guys don't agree with them. Some of you guys do agree with them, and we don't all have to see eye to eye on everything. That's what makes the human being so important. We can all have our own opinions, but when it comes down to stuff that works and doesn't work, I think we need to like kind of compare some stuff together. And people are nasty on the internet. You guys know this. People get triggered about caging systems. People get nasty about it. People get violent. People get very threatening about it. And I can see some of it is necessary. 99% of it is not. So let's just talk about this for a little bit. And I'll show you guys what's going on with the caging. I had somebody ask me how I keep my snakes. If you watch any of the videos, you already know this. But it's very difficult to have conversations with people typing away on Facebook or on Instagram or on Reddit or on any other platform where you can't like talk to somebody, and people really aren't willing to sit down and talk to somebody about if they have a problem with you or if they have a problem with how you keep your animals. There's always nasty comments and you know, smoking up the keyboards. And and a lot of people get opinion confused with facts. So I think when people try to tell somebody, hey, that's not a good cage, you don't come out with any factual evidence, then you're just telling somebody, hey, I don't like that because I don't like that. As you can see, I have rack systems. Rack systems are huge. Like, it's a hot topic because people love them, and people hate them, and people will say that. And I've had people say this to me, and I've seen it on bigger breeders' pages that I look at. You know, it's unethical. It's inhumane. You're a very bad person if you keep a snake in a rack system. Okay, well, let's talk about rack systems really fast. There's all different kinds of sizes of rack systems, and there's all different sizes of snakes. Now, if I was to try to shove an anaconda like a massive Burmese python into 70-30, yeah, I mean, that's not right. But if I want to have, and we'll look at this in a little bit. I'm just showing you guys right now, Peaches, the pearl Burmese python. We'll show you where she lives as well. So she is 2, a little over 2, right? 2 and 6 months. And she, you know, this is another topic about feeding. I get hated on a lot because I don't have a 12-foot berm at 2 years old. But you can look at her. She's thick. She's a good size. She's healthy. Has very good color on her. That's another topic though. So this is kind of like maybe a rant video. I don't know. So let's put her back. And while I'm ranting, I'll talk to you guys. So in a lot of these cages, just to show you guys, I've taken out the water, and I've taken out the hides, just so we can see the animals and we can see where they stay. So you saw how big she was, and this is a 4x20, which is not ideal at all for her probably in the next year, but for right now I feel like this is okay. And again, this is how I feel. This is opinion. It's opinionated video. If you guys want to leave your nasty comments of your opinions, you can, because we all have our opinions. So, keeping her in here with bedding. I do like bedding. I do like paper as well. Again, opinions. That's another topic. Let's talk about her keeping her in here really fast, and then we'll talk about. Let's just close this up so she doesn't try to escape when I'm talking. So one of the biggest things is on these rack systems is and really keeping snakes on how when people get agitated is they like to throw out the whole survival. Your snake is just surviving; it's not thriving in a rack system. Or, and in some cases, some people might say, you know, even though I have a water bowl for the berm and a hide in there, she doesn't have branches, she doesn't have a whole scenery set up. So a lot of people like to say, well, you know, your snake's just surviving, and that's like the bare minimums, which is again a very hot topic. So let me go and just Google, because I don't know, it just bothers me when people throw out the word, well, it's just surviving, it's not thriving, or it's not doing something else. So if we actually look at the definition of surviving, it means to continue or live or exist, especially despite of danger or hardship. What danger or hardship does a snake have in captivity if you're a good keeper? Which I'm not saying I'm not an expert, and sometimes you guys say, like I said, that I'm the worst keeper, so maybe my animals are just in survival mode and they do have some hardships. We literally feed them whenever they need food. We give them water every single day, fresh water. There's not animals trying to eat them or try to harm them, so they don't have scratches and they don't have open wounds on them, and they don't have ticks or other bugs that could be out in the wild giving them weird diseases or whatever. So that's out of the window. None of these animals are just surviving, they're thriving. Now let's look at what thriving has to say. To prosper and to be successful, to grow or develop and flourish. So yeah, I would say that these animals in a rack system or in a basic PVC cage with the bedding and just the water, they're flourishing. They look good, they're healthy, I guess snakes don't have emotions. I guess that's another topic. I would say they're happy. I don't know. I don't think snakes can be happy, but again, we're putting our human emotions into an animal that literally lives, in some cases, in a mud hole, in a dirt hole, in some of the harshest environments that there is on the planet, and we are giving anything we do for a snake, I feel, is far beyond what they would have in captivity, or I'm sorry, out in the wild. So let's look at some of these animals, and because I know you guys don't want to see me blabbing around. So some of these snakes over here are, 3, 4, I'm not 3 feet. They're like 5 or 6 feet. Some of them in here are like 3 feet. So I have 5 and 6 foot snakes in here, and as you can see that this boa right here, and she's definitely, she's hit or miss on how she is. So there she is. There's a 6 foot snake in a 4x2. And I do have a hide for her sometimes. Sometimes she uses it, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they go into the paper and they use that as a hide end. As an opinion, I think that's okay. We're not going to get into paper versus bedding. I have both. I've tried both. I swap back and forth all the time. But you can see that she's barely in the corner and she has all this room to move around. I understand some of you guys will say, well, snakes need to have the full length of their body to stretch out. Okay, we can go with that. And I will probably agree with that. They can, roam around in a circle like that. And that's probably not the most exciting life. But again, their brains are not wired like humans, and they're not wired like a dog or a cat. They're not thinkers. They're not problem solvers. They really don't need that much stimulation in the brain. And that's what I've seen. If I put a branch in there, it'll be curious about the branch, and then it won't care about the branch. So you guys can make it as nice as you want. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You can have a cage as big as you want as long as the snake is doing well. Absolutely nothing wrong with that as well. But again, when we see a cage like this, it's like, blah, it's boring. So if you flourish it up, oh, that looks really good. But does it look good to a human, or is it good for the snake? Or can the snake do can the snake thrive in there? Yes, it can thrive, and it can have a very, very nice life in there. So let's look at the 7030, the rack system. Yes, there is a time and a place for rack systems. I would not put a 6-foot snake in here, even though it could fit. Like, they could fit in here. I don't think that's good. There's also tubs that are like this wide, and they want to stick a ball python in there where it can barely turn around. Should that happen? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe not. But we'll look in here. We'll just randomly open up a drawer. This is a ball python, and it has a lot of room in here. Where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. It's hiding. So some of these have hides, some of them don't. This is basically like a big hide of its own. It's very shallow, and then it has a nice roof over it, so it's basically a hide. But this is the thing: you can have all this space right here. Sometimes it comes out. The snake will come out, drink its water, maybe hang out for a little bit. But the majority of the time, I open this up, and if a hide is in a 7030 in a rack system, it's in the hide. You can put snakes, and this is Sarah named Reptile, and she's shed. She needs water. She's a good size. She has plenty of room in here. I'm not gonna say she's happy, because I don't think they have happy emotions. But there's a bunch of boas in here, and I think 7030 is the perfect split for snakes, because you can house smaller ball pythons in here, and then you can go into a full adult ball python. So she's almost 1,000 grams, and she's doing very well in here. So there's plenty of room. The bedding's not the best. I probably need to clean that out. And so it's just like, we have more boas, baby boas. So I think it's until they're 2 years old, maybe boas can stay in there just fine with no problem. I do have a 9-foot cage in here. This is where the anaconda is, and she's back in the back corner. So, she does hide a lot. All the snakes hide a lot. All snakes in general hide a lot. She does like to be in the water. I had a weird conversation with somebody on Facebook about telling me that anacondas need a big water source. They need it. I told her, well, that's her opinion, and she got very, very aggressive. And it's like, if they need it, then they wouldn't survive without it. And it's funny, because if they needed a huge water source, how come all these big breeders don't have big water sources, and these snakes are thriving and living very old ages, very large, giving birth a lot? And so that again, there it is right there, like, opinions. Opinions are not facts. I'm not saying what I'm saying facts. I'm just saying my opinion, and everything I'm telling you could be wrong. But this is basically what I have my snakes in, and it's working. And so this one does have a hide, and it does have water. But these are very small tubs. I like to keep the babies in tubs. It makes them feel secure. It makes them eat. I feel eat better once they get established on eating very well. I do like to put them in the 7030s. You could put a ball python in a 9-foot cage. You could put one in a 4-foot cage, and you could put a lot of stuff in there, like branches and scenery and foliage and branches or logs and stuff like that. But I guarantee you, the ball python will probably not do very well. I want to smush his head in any one of those as a baby. Maybe as adults they'll be perfectly fine. Every snake is different, so you just have to go off of what your snake enjoys, how your snake does. But if you put a ball python in this bottom cage right here, you can give it everything that it wants, everything that it needs. Ball pythons come from Africa, so it would be a very deserty area. Lots of holes, because they do live in anthills, termite mounds. I guarantee you, and I would put some money on this, if you put a 9-foot cage in there and make it very appealing to the human eye, sure, every once in a while it would come out and it would probably roam around to see if there's any food or to drink water, but I guarantee it would be hiding somewhere for most of the day and most of the night. Snakes like to live in holes, dirt holes, anthills. Boas, on the exception, they like to be That's another topic that, you know, I could probably do better on. Is a lot of people could do better on is getting caging where boas can climb, because they do climb in. I would assume they climb in South America. They can eat birds, so they might have to go up into the trees. But I think mostly they're on the grounds, down around tree stumps, waiting for critters to cross their path and eat them, because they are ambush animals. And then that's another thing, like they're not out actively looking for animals to eat, they're waiting for animals to come to them or pass by them, which I think is another reason why they like to hide, why they don't like big spaces. But again, this is me rambling. So somebody wanted me to make a video on cages, and I thought it'd be a good topic to bring up. But it's not easy. It's probably the hardest topic that I could come up with, because it's everybody's personal opinion on everything, and this is my personal opinion. So this new anaconda that I got, I put a hide in here, and this is a very, very small cage, and I have a hide in here, and I come in here all the time. I'm constantly in here taking pictures. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I post way too much. So I'm in here all the time, and I've never seen this guy out of his cage or out of his hide ever. Not even to soak in the water, not even to do anything. So sometimes I'm like, is he even in here? So yeah, he's in here. So I have to like double check to make sure he didn't like somehow escape, because I never see him. And so I don't know, it's just kind of like, it's just a tough topic, because I would get bashed. I mean, I still will get bashed. I will get bashed for keeping a snake in here. I'll get bashed for keeping a snake in there. When you saw how much room they actually have, and then some people on like Animal Plastics, they sell an adult boa cage for a 4x2, and then now everything was good on the 4x2s for boas, and they've been kept in there like that for so long. And even the rack system for boas, the big sliding out drawers, they're 4 feet. I've seen people keep 12, 15-foot long retics in those. I mean, is that ethical? Probably not. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. So it doesn't look pleasing to the eye. It doesn't feel like it should be a good place for a snake to be in. But again, I don't know. So the new thing is, if you have a boa, you should have it in an 8-foot cage. Should you? I don't know. Does your snake like to be in an 8-foot cage? Will it eat? Will it shed? Will it flourish in an 8-foot cage? Maybe. Would it do the same thing or better in a 4-foot cage or a 6-foot cage? That's up to you to decide. So for other people on the internet that bash somebody who has rack systems, or bashing, you can bash me all you want, because I'm pretty used to it by now. But if you're gonna bash me for keeping a Burmese python at however long she is in a 4x20, because these are not 4x2s, that's another topic, because I don't understand why the guy doesn't build 4x2s when that's like the industry standard. But anyways, I digress on that. That's a very annoying topic. But if you're going to say that she should be in a 9-foot cage, which I actually had her in a 9-foot cage. Back in the old room, I had her in this exact same setup right here. She did horrible. She ate, but I couldn't. She had horrible sheds. She stayed in like the smallest little area possible the entire time. I was like, I'm wasting a 9-foot cage on her. So I put her in here, and she's doing very well. Very, very well. So that's it, guys. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you guys listening to me ramble on this. And again, if I'm wrong, let me know. I'm sure you will let me know. And I'll see you guys on the next video.